For those of you who were here last year, we left off last year with my team, and we had played against Stanford in the game that was leading to the Final Four, so the Elite Eight. And we had this massive senior class who were all really excited about making an impact in our program. Well, we lose those 9 seniors, which is a lot. And on top of losing the 9 seniors, we gain 15 freshmen. Okay, 15 freshmen at that point was half of our team. So we had an idea going into the season that we were going to probably take some lumps early on and we were going to have to figure some things out. So on August 5th, which was the first day of our preseason, we decided to show this video that I'm about to show you. Just to give you a little background on this video, the person you're going to see in this video he was a freshman this past year at Kansas State. His name is Denzel Goolsby. He plays football there. And Denzel was at summer training before his freshman year started when he got some phone calls and text messages that he missed while he was training from his family talking about his father. And his father had had a brain aneurysm, and he needed to go home to try and say his last words to his dad. Well, the speech that you're about to hear is him when he did come home. His father did pass, and 2 days later, he had the opportunity to go to an awards ceremony to receive the Kansas State Player of the Year, the State Athlete of the Year, the Male Athlete of the Year. Had no idea he was going to win, and this was the speech that he gave.
I woke up in Manhattan to a lot of missed calls and text messages, and I didn't know what was going on. So I called my sister back, and she said that my dad back here in Wichita had a brain aneurysm in the middle of the night, and that he was on life support, and that I was supposed to come home to say my last words to him. That's a lot to handle, driving back from K-State at 18 years old, thinking of what to say to your dad for the last time, especially being, alone on that drive back. There's very few moments, I think, when I've felt so alone in my life. And so I'd like to dedicate this award to him tonight because he's not here today. He passed away yesterday, and he is a big reason why I'm the person I am today. He always pushed me, and I'm a firm believer in work ethic being something that is passed along. And he had the drive to get up every single day and to work hard and never complain. And seeing that is something that I've tried to embody myself and try to take into my own life. And so, thank God for him. Thank God for everything that he's done for me and for passing that on along to me. I was reading something on the internet about the golf balls, and this is going to sound crazy, but just bear with me. And they said that golf balls, when they were originally made, they were completely smooth. And I've never golfed in my life, so don't think that I know what I'm talking about with golf balls. This is just research. So they said that golf balls were made smooth when they very first came out. And as they started hitting them, they became dented. And the golf balls we know today have dimples on them. Well, when they first made it, it was smooth and perfectly round. And as they hit it and continued to hit it, it would get dented, and they kept on hitting the same one. And what they discovered was the more dents that got on the golf ball, the farther the golf ball would go, the smoother it would sail, the longer you would be able to drive it. And so after everything happened yesterday, I thought back to my own self, and at the end of the day, I'm kind of like a golf ball. And anyone who's going through any hardship, a family death, whatever it is, they're kind of like a golf ball because we get dented and we think that it might be a bad thing. But at the end of the day, that's just God denting us, redesigning us so that we can go farther in life. So at times when you think that, your world's upside down, like it did yesterday, that's for sure. You just have to understand that, God's not throwing you off the side of the mountain for nothing. He's just redesigning you so that you can go farther in life. Thank you very much.
Great speech, isn't it? When I first heard that speech, my thoughts just went to the composure of that young man that he had in that moment. And his attitude and his outlook on the whole situation. So we gave our team golf balls to remind ourselves that when we took these dents as the season went on, we were going to have that same type of outlook. So what happened next was we decided that we wanted to build on this theme that our team has had throughout our career as person over player. And we wanted to make sure that we were teaching our players things that were going to equip them for the moments that were going to happen later in the season for us. So anything that happened, we wanted to be able to repurpose that. Well, one of the ways that we wanted to do that beyond our locker room was to also have our community involved in that message. And in order for our community to be involved, we felt like it was really important for our community to get to know our players better. So it was really unique that now our players could go out into the community and send this message to any of the kids that came to our games. And we started with first giving them all a bag, and that bag had equipped for the moment on it. So we wanted to equip them for the moments that they were going to face too. And then each week after our home games, we would give them something to put in the bag. Another message we used was seeds for patience. Again, remember our 15 freshmen, we knew we were going to have some patience. So we wanted to display patience through a seed. It takes a little time to water and grow. And for our definition of patience, to tolerate struggle or delay, we knew we were going to have some of that. So what does that look like? The very first league game we played this year was against Texas A&M. Texas A&M and us battle often for the SEC title, and this was a pretty highly hyped game, and it was the first game of the SEC season. This was us after the Texas A&M game. So you can imagine that it didn't really go too well. It was probably the worst we've played in the last 7 or 8 years. But processing it with the seeds really helped our players understand the patience that was going to be necessary to get through the season. You heard earlier from PJ Fleck. Well, when I met PJ, he shared with me the row the boat story, which I was really inspired by. And I brought that to our team, and it really resonated with them. And so we decided to get this big orange oar that we would bring on our sidelines, and it was pretty crazy. People would row during the game, and we had it really going on with the oar. But we thought the oar might be a little bit too big to put in people's bags, so we were able to find small oars to make sure that we could keep that symbol with us as we traveled. Well, the season progressed for us, and lo and behold, we were making progress. We were getting better and better. We come to an important game for us in the SEC season against South Carolina. And in our sport, if you win, you get 3 points. If you tie, you get 1 point. And if you lose, you get 0 points. So it's pretty critical, especially late in the season, to get as many points as you can. We're playing South Carolina. It looks like it's very much headed for a tie. It's a tie in regulation. We go into overtime. It's tied throughout the overtime. And then this happens.
And Jordan goes down, still in the box for Florida. Do they have a shot? Slattery takes it, and it's a goal!
Now that's something we don't see every day, a buzzer beater in a soccer game. And it came in double overtime to boot as Florida beat South Carolina 2-1. After a wild scrum, Florida's Liz Slattery was somehow able to flip the ball over the goalie's head as time expired. And her teammates went nuts. Now that's how you finish off a game in style.
So that play actually went as SportsCenter top 10. Never had anything like that happen before. Never been in a buzzer beater game as a soccer coach before. So that was kind of a turning point for us. And in the end, it was kind of a pivotal point for us to go ahead and win the SEC regular season. So from when we had to display the patience from the very first Texas A&M game to winning the regular season was really rewarding for us. In the SEC tournament, we even got a chance to show our progress because we got to play Texas A&M in the final. And we were fortunate to be able to show some progress in that and come away with the SEC tournament title. But then we head to the postseason. In the NCAA, the season is a totally different animal than the regular season. We earned ourselves a number 2 seed, which we were pretty happy with. But we also knew that there was a possibility that we were going to face some dents in the postseason too, and we wanted to be able to play through those. So Brett and I were kind of brainstorming about how we were going to bring these things together that we had learned throughout the season. And ironically, he was working with the golf team at Florida when one of the golfers came in and he had on a wristband that had dimples on it like a golf ball. And it sort of looked like this. So we created our own dimpled wristband, and we put Denzel's words on there, designed to go far, to remind us that we were designed as a team to go far because we had taken these dents. Now in our game, sometimes the referees are a little bit fuzzy about whether or not you can wear something on your wrist. So we gave our team green tape to remind them of the Play Green theme that we had last year in case they needed to cover up the band. So we had the green tape over our Designed to Go Far bracelets. Right before the game, we had Denzel Skype in with our team. So when we did that, it was amazing. First of all, we had to get past our players trying to get his number, but after that, it was amazing. Denzel shared a story of how moving it was for his dad's legacy to live on through our team and how our inspiration that we took from his team meant so much to his family. And our players were really touched by his story and hearing it in person. So that was a tremendous just exchange of information for our team. And then the next game, we got a visit from our boy PJ. So PJ Skyped in with us and talked to us in person about the Row the Boat. And so we were trying to tie all these themes together. The idea of playing green from last year, the idea of rowing the boat, all of us pulling in the same direction at the same time, and for us to be able to withstand any dents that we might face. Unfortunately for us, we ran into a Duke team that was on fire. They ended up going to the finals. We lost in the Sweet 16 to Duke 2-1. And you know, it's not so much the outcome that's a challenge. I think what's really difficult is when you see a team that you've worked so hard with and they've come so far and made so much progress, for it to just end so abruptly. The lifespan of that team is really short, and all of a sudden it just stops. And I think that's one of the most difficult things for me as a coach to deal with, is having the end of a season come. But the one thing that I will always remember this team for was we came very close to fulfilling our potential as our team. I think we really worked hard at that. And I think this team definitely got dented, but we made progress. We rowed together, and we played green. Thank you very much.